the front, they're called running lights. On the back and the top, they're called running lights. On the side, they're called clip lights. 2 amber and 1 red. Same thing on the other side, 2 amber and a red, okay? You tell her, Miss Powell, all 3 of my clip lights, 2 ambers and a red, appear to be in good shape. They're not busted or broken. The lens is in good shape. There's no sign of any missing bolts. No obvious damage, should be no problem, okay? Reflective tape, okay? It's required by DOT, reflective tape on the buses on this side and on the other side as well, but on this side appears to be all where it should be. You don't see any damage. It's a new bus. It's not missing any, so no problem with that. You can see it's also around in addition to a stripe down here, it's around the emergency exits. Okay? The windows itself on the side of the bus are not broken or damaged or busted in any way. Appear to be in good working order. What rubber you can see looks to be in good shape. There's nothing frayed or missing. If we go a little further down, we're looking at the turn signal. Turn signal's in good shape. Bolts in place. Mechanism itself, the assembly itself is all secure. The rubber around there is all there, and it's not frayed. Looks to be in good shape. The stop sign. First off with the stop sign, visually it looks like it's in good shape. All the bolts are in place. As I can see the rubber back here looks to be in good shape. The lens itself is not broken or busted as far as I can see. Okay, there's no obstructions, it's moving good. If I look in the back, the wire that connects it's in good shape. It's not old or frayed. Rubber's in good shape again back here. The bolts are in place. The bolts are in place with the lens covers and they're not busted inside. And the rubber around the lens is looking good. Based on all that and being mounted securely to the bus, should work just fine. Okay. A little further down, you're looking at this right here. Now this right here is something you shouldn't have to ever mess with, okay? There's connectors in here, but primarily there's fuses in here. And the only people that's going to need to mess with that is shop personnel. But as we go further on and start talking about the inside of the bus, you'll need to know where the fuses are. Okay, the fuses. Okay. All right, go a little further down here. Okay, let's talk about this right here. This right here is connector box. Now that's real obvious electrical connections there. You don't want to stick your hand in there. You don't want to touch any of that stuff, and you don't want to mess with it. That's for shop people. But you can just tell her that. That's where they are, electrical connectors. Okay? This right here is your battery. You do want to tell her about your battery, okay? A visual of the battery says, first off, there's no leaking. Okay, this little tray is watertight, or should be. But you don't see any, well, with a battery it's called electrolyte, but you don't see any electrolyte, you don't see anything leaking out of the battery. It's not cracked, it's not busted. It's secure. This is what secures it in there. It's not moving, the bolts are tied in there. And just based on the connectors look like they're secure and they're tight. That one looked like it has a little corrosion going on there. We'll tell them about it when we get back to the shop. But other than that, they should work just fine. Okay? Battery. Alright, and last but not least, let's talk about this reflectors. 2 ambers and a red. Okay? That's just really no more than a piece of tape right there. It's functional, it's on there securely, it's not tore or busted, it does its job. This reflector's mounted securely, it's doing its job. And the one red one in the behind here is another piece of tape, essentially. It's your reflector and it's not damaged or broken in any way. Okay? While we're here, let's go ahead and talk about, before we get under there and talk about it, let's go ahead and talk about the tire, okay? Let me say about the tire, there's 2 tires. The inside tire is known as the Bud tire, okay? Based on what I'm looking and seeing here, I don't see anything damaged, I don't see anything busted. On either the inside or the outside of the tires, okay? Minimum tread depth for this is what?
232. I mean,
yeah. Okay. Right. 2 seconds for the back, 4 seconds for the front. Okay. Remember, 2 seconds for 4 tires, 4 seconds for 2 tires. Makes a lot of sense. Somebody actually come up with that. I don't know why I didn't say 2 seconds, 4 seconds. But nonetheless, okay. Yeah, minimum air pressure for all the tires, 100 psi. Okay. But don't forget Bud tire. Okay. Bud tire. Outside the tire looks to be in good condition, much like we talked about the front. Okay, it's not busted or damaged or broken. Okay, the lug nuts are all there. They're all mounted secure. They're all tight. If they weren't tight, we'd see what?
Excessive rust.
Excessive rust. Okay, this is a hub seal. This whole piece is the hub seal. That's called the hub seal cover up front. This is a hub seal. nonetheless, this is the cover on the outside, okay? And it has bolts and nuts on there and all secure. If not, we'd see excessive rusting once again, but there's nothing leaking out of there. There's no air leaking out of the tire. Everything seems to be in good shape too, okay? There's the valve stem. I don't hear any air leaking out of there. It looks to be in good shape, okay? All right, now we pretty much talked about this. That's the first time we've done that, but let's talk about underneath. There we go.